Thanks, Simon. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your time today. So my name is Delphine Agulo, and I'm the CEO of the company Stimuli Technology. So I will introduce you today Tensi Plus, which is a medical device in urology. And we are treating overactive bladder. And maybe as you can hear, I'm from France, so we also produce the device in France. So what's our story? So we created a company 5 years ago in France. The company Stimuli Technology got created by techno founders, which is a French startup studio. It's a deep tech startup studio. So there is an incubator and a fundraising. So they created Stimuli Technology early 2018. The first 3 years, we worked on the prototype and on the regulatory file. We obtained the CE mark and the manufacturer certification in February 2021. So we got the MDR regulation directly. So that's a good one, I know. So we started the production in Q2, Q3 2021. We produced in France, in Brittany, the device. It got assembled in Rennes, actually. We also registered for the reimbursement on the French market. So we got the approval in June 2021. So the device is reimbursed in France since then. So we were waiting for that milestone before launching on the market. So we launched in September 2021. When we launched the product, we have to work on two sides. The first one was the promotion to prescribers. So our prescribers are practitioners, urologists, gynecologists, and also practitioners in rehabilitation. And also we recruit at that time our sales team in France. They are also working on signing distributors in France. So our main distribution channels are home care services, pharmacists, and also medical device stores and websites. Last year, in 2022, the idea was to expand the distribution in France. We also ran 2 clinical studies, and we prepared for the European launch. So this year, the focus is on the international distribution. So on the launch on different countries, except France, since we already have more than 1 year of sales in that market. We are also we're going to submit our regulatory file to the FDA to target the US market in let's say 1 to 2 years. And we are also working on a new version of the Tensi Plus, version 2 actually. So what's our device? So the Tensi Plus. It's a TENS electrostimulator. It's a class 2A medical device under MDR regulation. So TENS means transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation. So we are treating OAB, so overactive bladder. It's only developed for the posterior tibial nerve stimulation. We worked with a urologist and patient, and the protocol is a 20-minute treatment a day. It's a very an easy-to-use treatment. So basically, you just need to position the device around your ankle and to adjust. Then you just need to switch on the on button, and you need to adjust the stimulation. The idea is to feel the stimulation, so the nerve should be stimulated, but it has to be comfortable. And then when you're good with the adjustment of the stimulation, it's a 20-minute treatment, and it will switch off automatically. So the Tensi Plus treatment, as I said, is a 20-minute a day protocol. The idea of the duration is 12 weeks. So you're going to see the effect after the week 1, after 6 weeks, and after 12 weeks. If it works on the patient, so basically I will share with you the success rate later. It depends on the patient. You will want to maintain the improvement effect. So you will keep doing stimulation because it's not a curative treatment. So you can stop the stimulation, and then after like few days, few weeks, it will depend on your OAB severity, it will reappear. So that's why we recommend to patients to maintain few sessions. It could be a session a day, it could be a session every 2 days. It really depends on the patient. Since it's every day, and it could be a prior treatment before electrostimulator by surgery, implant electrostimulator, sorry. So just quickly on the TENS technique, so the transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation, how does it work? So basically, we send small electrical pulses on the posterior tibial nerve, and the nerve will reach the back of, the bottom of your back, and it will control the bladder. So the patient will regain on bladder control. The TENS technique is a non-invasive and drug-free technique, and multiple clinical studies show improvement of the symptoms after like few weeks. So here are the clinical studies. So I was saying it's not working on all patients. So depending on the clinical studies, the success rate is between 50% to 80%. So that's quite good, actually. And remember, it's non-invasive. There is no secondary effect. It's drug-free. So, this rate is quite nice, actually. These are our Tensi plus clinical studies. So the first one is a retrospective study on more than 103 patients run in several establishments in France. And the success rate was 68%. So we introduced these results last November at the AFU in Paris. And we also are running PMCF study on 86 patients, and we're going to have the results in May. So we can have publication in June. So what are the indications for the Tensi Plus? So the Tensi Plus is recommended for, it could be idiopathic or neurologic reason. It's for women and men, adult population, so 18 and plus. We haven't run the medical file for below 18. It could be a way to explore, but so far our medical file is for adult population. For the clinical syndrome, so the overactive bladder, it's involuntary muscle contraction of the bladder. So you have 4 main symptoms. The first one is pollakiuria. So if you go to the toilet more than 8 times a day, nicturia, if you wake up at least once during the night, urgenturia, if you need to rush to go to the toilet, and also incontinence. So you can have one symptoms or several symptoms at the same time. What is the patient type? So 15% of the population has overactive bladder. For sure, you're getting older, so you're more concerned. So 30% to 40% are above 65 years old. It's a bit more women than men, but it's also men, and it represents more than 40 million patients in Europe. So what are our products? So it's super simple. Basically, we have the Tensi Plus packaging. So you could find the medical device. You will have 2 electrodes on the device and 1 strap. You have the USB cable and the instructions. So the packaging and the instructions are already translated in 10 languages because the idea is to focus on the international extension, as I said. So you're gonna have French, English, Danish, Dutch, Spanish, German, Italian, also Spanish, Portuguese, and Swedish, and Finnish. I think it's 10, should be 10. And to make it work, you need to add a conductive gel. So the idea is to use a bit of gel on the electrodes, so you can make the skin more conductive, and it will be better for the stimulation. Also the patient price. So this is the patient price in France. Since it's reimbursed, this is like a fixed price by the healthcare system. So it's just an idea to let you know it has not to be the same price on the different markets. But what we are doing right now in France, so the patient price, it's 304 euros 90 cents. It includes 20% VAT. But it also depends on the VAT depending on the countries, but just an idea. For the consumables, super easy. You see, we're gonna have only 3. So you have the gel. So in France, 1 gel every 2 months is reimbursed. You have the electrodes. So it's a pack of 4 electrodes, so 2 pairs. And so it's in France, the reimbursement, it's 1 pack of 4 each year. And for the strap, we sold the strap by 1. It's not reimbursed in France for the strap, but usually it's 1 strap every year or every 6 months. So yeah, this could be a great opportunity for you. The idea is really to extend this year. It's a easy to use device. So it's 1 program, 3 buttons, 20 minutes a day, super easy for patients. The technique is well known for the urologists, gynecologists, and other practitioners. These are common symptoms since it touched more than 15% of the population, 40 million patients in Europe. It's a great success story in France. So more than 8,000 devices were sold the first year. And right now, here I am, here you are, international focus. So maybe some of you will be at the EAU, European Association of Neurologists Congress in Milan in March. So feel free to drop by our booth, and also you can also reach me. Yeah, here it is. Do you have any questions?
I have a quick question, please, Delphine.
Sure.
Is this product prescribed by a urologist, a pharmacist, or a doctor, or it can be like an OTC suggestion in Europe?
So in France, it's prescribed by urologists, gynecologists, and also doctors in rehabilitation.
Okay.
You also have like ambassadors in France, like physiotherapists, midwives. They are not prescribing because they can't, but they can recommend. And also, if you want to purchase the device on your own and it won't be reimbursed, you can purchase in a pharmacy on our website. So
okay,
also an option.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
What is the lifetime of a device?
The lifetime, you mean?
Yes.
So you mean the patient has to do it, or the
No, I mean
warranty?
the durability of the device itself.
Durability. So our warranty is 2 years, but I think it will depend on the battery. So it could be more actually.
The patient can change the battery, or it's you buy the unit?
Yeah, that's a good one. They can change the battery. They can't. So that's why I was talking on the lifetime of the battery, basically.
Okay. And what is your competition?
So we have in France, in Europe, 2 to 3 main competitors. So it's a Tensi electrostimulators. You have one in Germany, and but they are spread in Europe. So basically, that help also to come on the market because the technique is well known. But our device is 100% focused on OAB treatment, while other electrostimulators, they can also treat sometimes some pain or other symptoms. So they have many programs. So it could also treat other symptoms, but sometimes it's harder for patients because they mixed up with all the programs and stuff. So I know that for the distributor side, it could be very painful. So that's why our focus was to create a very simple device and treating only OAB, because all the prescription in France for this kind of electrostimulators, so our competitors, were 90% of the prescription for OAB treatment. So that's why we just cut all the programs and focus on this one.
What is the actual regulatory pathway for a device like that in France, for example?
Sorry, the what?
The regulatory pathway.
Regulatory, sorry.
Yes, like product registration within the FDA, for example, or in France.
So it's a class
MDR.
2A. It's a class 2A, and we are MDR. So, I mean, we follow the MDR regulation. It's
Okay.
a C mark, and we are running for the FDA approval, but it takes time. It will take time.
Okay, thank you.
Delphine, thank you for your presentation. If I may join the discussion, I can see raised hand by Václav. So Václav, please, you may ask.
Yeah, thank you. Delphine, really interesting presentation. The product looks really nice. Just so I understand it well, the patient wears it for 20 minutes a day and then they take it off, right?
Yeah.
And I know, in fact, from Olivier from RMS that you guys started to work together. So I'll be definitely asking some things as well after. But I'd be happy to see some more information about the product and the whole process afterwards.
Sure.
Yeah.
Super. Yeah, feel free to reach me. Yeah, sure.
Oh.
Yeah, let's say it's a treatment at home. So it's a 20 minutes a day, and it's at home. And yeah, we already signed for the Benelux region, but I'm sure it could be also sell in other region. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for your interest.
Just one last question, Delphine, please. Are there any particular contraindications for the use of Tensi in general and this one in particular?
Yeah, that's a good one. So if you wear a defibrillator, it's not recommended. If you're pregnant, it's not recommended. If you have a metal implant around the ankle, it's not recommended. But it's a classic contraindication. We have like 4 to 5 contraindications.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Any last questions for Delphine before we go for lunch? Because
everyone is hungry.
Because if not, then it'd be me. I'd like to ask what are the main what are the main changes you will be making in your further product, the Tensi++, let's say? Will you, let's say, only focus on making, let's say, the same product, but let's say same functions, but better? Or is there anything new you will be adding?
We are improving the electronical side and also the shape of the device, the buttons. So basically, we gathered all the patient feedbacks, and we're gonna implement on the version 2. And also at the same time, since we are changing the designs, we're gonna integrate, the USB-C is gonna be like new electrical norms. So yeah, we are trying to do something smart and at once.
Yeah, so update in many ways, but same.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
it's the same technique.
Great, thank you. Okay, Delphine, thank you very much. Again, it was mentioned before, but really interesting. It was nice to have you here. Really nice additions.